just where you wanted, in that gap between defenders and goalkeeper. And Dele Alli at the near post taking full advantage of the opportunity that was given to him by Eriksen.
What a start to this game. It has been frantic, it really has. Spurs are right on this one, the word go, and Chelsea still just a little bit laboured, but when they come forward, Spurs' defence have looked a little bit shaky as well, so I'm expecting a lot of goals in this one for how it started. Eriksen there, lovely ball back to Son in the penalty area. Oh, Heung-min Son has somehow blazed this one over. Great play between Son and Eriksen. He finds the Dane to his right hand side, continues his run into the box, gets a little flick ball over the top of the fence, and on the sort of half volley when it drops down, he blazes it over from around 10 yards out.
Yeah, beautiful play again, wasn't it? But so poor from Chelsea just outside the penalty area. Didn't pick up the runners at all. It was a lovely little chip over the top, as you say. Perfect for Son. In his defence, he has to take it first time and try the shot across goal. You would think maybe he has a little more time than that, but he wants to take it first time. Can't keep it down, but again Spurs just finding space at will around the edge of the penalty area, and not surprisingly Sané on the sideline. He's going absolutely crackers with his, I think his midfielders for me more than his defenders, because Kante and Jorginho at the moment don't seem to be able to pick up any runners at all coming through towards them. Whether they're getting overloaded, I'm not quite sure, but certainly there's just too many Spurs players for the Chelsea ones to pick up at the back at the moment.
I have to say, they're struggling to pick up Heung-min Son. He is just going from left to centre to right, buzzing around there. He's not been man-marked, so nobody knows who's meant to be getting him where. He's just popping up in different zones there, so it's very impressive. I'm a huge fan of Heung-min Son. I think brilliant player, and I think Spurs, yes, it's been a great start to the season. If they'd had Heung-min Son at the start of it, then they may have done even better, as he has an attempted shot from the edge of the box. It falls to Dele Alli now inside the penalty area. Lovely drag back onto his left foot, then tries to just poke a little ball through there for Eriksen. It's cleared away, but Chelsea again giving the ball away. Aurier has it down this right hand side now, the Ivory Coast international. Little step over, puts the ball in field to Kane, who looks like he's brought down, but the referee says no, that's a fair challenge. And now maybe Chelsea got the chance to come forward. Hazard, that's a lovely ball played down the left hand channel. Morata gets to the end of this one. He's one-on-one with Alderweireld at the moment there. Step over into the penalty area, just switches it across towards Hazard now. He somehow gets the ball out to that right hand side. Cross comes in there, it's headed away, it sort of bounces down in the penalty area, cleared out to that right hand side again. This is the best passage of play for the Blues so far in this game. It's with Alonso now deep on this left hand side, and it's gone to a little bit of a standstill, but that was much better from Chelsea.
Yeah, it was. It was a lovely ball over the top from Hazard to give Morata the opportunity. Some nice interplay, and again, looked like we might find Spurs' Achilles heel coming up again, the defensive side of things from Spurs, which hasn't been at the highest level so far, but they got away with that one. Azpilicueta's crossed just a little behind, but here comes Spurs again with Son.
Yeah, Son into the penalty area, great play. Oh, it's a great save by Kepa there, just sticks out his right foot and somehow gets something on that. But again, this time Marcus Alonso wanting a free kick on the halfway line, not given by the referee, Kevin Atkinson, and he just drives forward there. It's a lovely turn by Son, but it's so easy to get past Rudiger. But now Chelsea coming forward there. Hazard is dispossessed really well. It's a great challenge that comes in, and Spurs try and play it out from the back, but it's a good challenge in from Kante now. This is absolutely brilliant stuff in this opening 13 minutes. Still Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0, as Hazard has possession again. Now it's with Kovacic. Finds Kante, ball towards the edge of the area. Hazard, he goes down in the box. They're appealing for a penalty. Nothing given by the referee. Immediately waves this one away. There is too much to talk about at the moment, but well, firstly we'll go with Son with his attempt at the near post, which was well saved by Kepa, but I don't actually think he caught it that well. Then the penalty shout, but Spurs are coming forward again. There it's Son into the box. He tries to go past David Luiz, who does well this time, and Kepa smothers it. Over to you, Steve.
Other than that, nothing to talk about. Well, let's go with the penalty first of all. Well, gotta say, second look, Foyth, wrong side, goes straight into the back of Hazard. Yes, he goes down easily, but he goes right into the back of him. Martin Atkinson's in a really good position, though, to be fair to him, to give the decision. Maybe feels that the Chelsea man dropped to the floor, as we say, a little too comfortably rather than anything else, but there's certainly contact from Foyth. It's really poor from the Spurs defender, and I've seen those given, as the old phrase goes. I'm surprised the referee maybe hasn't pointed to the spot for that one, but another good ball here, and good goalkeeping as well from Luiz to the edge of his box to make a save. At the other end, as you say, Son, good opportunity, good ice hockey style save as well from Arithobalaga.
It is all happening at Wembley. It's still Tottenham 1, Chelsea 0, but what a game this is at the moment. Tottenham, well, they could have had a second and potentially third goal. Both of the chances are falling to Heung-min Son. He had a lovely bit of combination work with Eriksen. The Dane just sort of flicked one over the top of the Chelsea defence. Son continued his run. He's got to take it first time on the volley from around 10 yards out, but he just puts it over the bar. Probably should have at least hit the target. And then Son going down the same end. He turns Rudiger on the edge of the box, drives into the area, shot at the near post is saved well by Kepa with his right leg. Then Chelsea down the other end, Hazard going into the box. Foyth just takes him down from behind. It's clumsy. It goes down easily, the Belgian. No penalty, still 1-0.
But apart from that, nothing's happening. Here comes Spurs again through the centre. A chaotic game. Just covered another one. Fulham against Southampton that finished with 5 goals. This one looks like he's heading the same way as it settles down. But after 15 minutes, he's certainly not showing any signs of doing so far. As Spurs find possession with Kane, he drives forward again, shot from distance. Oh, it's deflected. It must have been gone in because Arrizabalaga is stationary as the ball flashes past him. He looked like he was in a central position, the keeper. We need to see a replay, but Harry Kane has scored from distance. Arrizabalaga looks to the skies, shakes his head. It's 2-0 Spurs.
Well, Chelsea are in absolute shock, as is Maurizio Sarri. Their unbeaten start under the Italian looks like it is coming to an end. Still a long way to go, but it's Tottenham 2, Chelsea 0. Out of absolutely nothing. It's been a cracking game so far, but Harry Kane has an effort. He's around 25 yards out. He doesn't seem to catch it that well. Kepa maybe is unsighted by David Luiz, who kind of just sort of ushers his way out the way of the ball, but for me it is really poor goalkeeping. It's not right in the corner. Kepa sees it, just don't think he reacts. Well, Kane has scored what I have to say is a fortuitous long-range effort, but it's 2-0 to Spurs.
OK, let's try and unpick that one then, shall we? There's two things there. One, David Luiz turns side on and almost moves out of the way of the ball as it comes across. No idea why. If he keeps himself facing towards Kane, he blocks that simply, you would have thought, but he seems to turn away from it. Maybe that makes Arrizabalaga feel that the defender's going to block it, therefore he's not ready. But you've got to be on your feet, you've got to be ready to make the save, and he's not. He's static, he's waiting for something to happen in front of him, expecting a block that never comes. And if a defender comes across, you've got to try and find a way to find space there. So for me, it's poor defending from Luiz, and it's not great goalkeeping either as well. So they can both take the blame on that one. Kane's got away with one, as it were, and it's 2-0.
Well, I mean, that is one of the strangest long-range efforts I've seen going in quite a long time. I mean, that's 9 and 11 now for Harry Kane in all competitions. It's been a brilliant form from the England international. Well, I mean, I don't think Kane's going to score from that distance so easily, probably for a long time in his career, because poor from Luiz, but equally as poor from Kepa is Son has the ball again on this right-hand side. He's at the edge of the box, but he goes back towards Sissoko now. Chelsea are at 6s and 7s at the back, but I still feel Chelsea are in this game because they look quite threatening coming forward themselves. But there's a free header for Kane. Oh, and Kepa sprawling to his right-hand side. Offside flag has gone up. But again, where on earth is the Chelsea marking?
Well, exactly. Where on earth is anybody in the box?
He's only just off.
And there's Kane on his own, finding space. Again, Morata's gone through here. He's offside as well, but he's further out, 30 or 40 yards from goal, as he tries to break away. But again, how can it be a situation? No wonder Sarri's on the sideline. He's got 3 defenders. You've got your key man inside, Harry Kane, and yet you still manage to find space for him to get a header in. Unbelievable defending from Chelsea.
It is indeed. We're just seeing replays of when Chelsea were 1-0 down. The penalty shout for Hazard, the more you look at it for the replays, the more it looks like a penalty. It is a clumsy challenge from Foyth. Spurs are coming forward again. Kane goes down. Well, Kane gets a free kick now, a few yards to the left-hand side of the box, just back from the byline. That is arguably exactly the same as the challenge that Foyth did. Rudiger has gone in the book for his challenge and given away the free kick. But it's that whole thing of in the box, it's not a free kick or penalty. Outside of the box, it's given.
There's a little bit, perhaps a little more on that from Rudiger, but not much. I'm not sure it's a booking particularly either. Yes, he pushes the player away. It's Harry Kane. He wouldn't be knocked over by that. Of course, he goes to ground as he feels the contact. Fair enough, he gets the free kick. I've no problem with that at all. Don't see how that's a yellow card for me inside the box.
Yeah, Free kick now, just outside, yeah. There is a free kick chance though now. Eriksson standing over, a right-footed in-swinging delivery. It's played low towards the edge of the area. Sissoko trying to get on the end of it. Kante does well to rush out. Just before that, I just pointed toward the TV and I was looking at Serge Aurier, who was available for a short one towards the edge of the area. It went to Sissoko, was off screen. I don't think Sissoko's expecting that one because it was there, because the Chelsea defence is so deep inside their own area. But now Chelsea are coming forward. Hazard finds Willian, the Brazilian, now just inside the penalty area, right footed strike. Ooh, it just goes past the far post. Don't know whether that was a sort of a shot cross. It nearly turned out into a great pass, but it's gone wide of the far post. But again, that's the threat Chelsea have.
Yeah, and again he finds space. I think he's trying to pull it back across, isn't he, really, and just hope that it either flicks ahead. I'm not sure it's really a shot at goal per se. Seems to be pulling it back. Morata is only a couple of yards away from him as the ball comes in. He puts it into the right place, Willian. He might get a touch from the keeper, might get a touch from Morata, but neither happens on that occasion. But better stuff from Chelsea. But again, as you say, they just seem to be finding spaces as well, which is a worry for Spurs. Yes, it's 2-0. Yes, they've looked great going forward, but there's just one or two little flashes of light here for Chelsea in this game.
I can't believe how entertaining this is. I mean, I know you expect the two of the matches against the big teams to be entertaining, but you sometimes get some drab affairs. But this has been 21 minutes, which has been absolutely sensational. But Chelsea coming forward now. Morata on the edge of the area, left-footed strike there is deflected away, nearly finds its way to Hazard, but this time it's Spurs that were guilty of giving away possession. Willian found the ball to Morata, and the Spaniard just didn't make the most of it. But now Spurs are coming forward themselves. Dele Alli, great footwork there as he drives forward. He's got Aurier to his right hand side on the overlap. He tries to find him, but that's going to be just ushered out by Alonso. It should be. Alonso then falls over, gets the free kick from the linesman. Again, I didn't think there was that much in that.
No, it's really one of those, isn't it? There's a bit of contact. Alonso will go and chew the grass for a minute, and the referee will give the foul. So, Aurier's got every right to battle for that ball. If Alonso's not going to play it, then to me that player is always obstructing. Therefore, it should be a free kick. So, actually, give the decision against Alonso. Play the ball, not the man.
Well, the chances are still coming at Wembley. Being able to catch breath in this one. It's still Tottenham 2, Chelsea 0. But even though Chelsea are 2-0 down, they're still looking threatening, coming on the counter-attack and coming forward themselves. And there was half an opportunity when Hazard just found a ball to Willian on the right-hand side. He has a little step over into the box from a tight angle, goes to sort of one of those the sort of cross shots where you try and maybe get it inside that bottom left corner. If you just dragged it slightly, someone could get on the end of it. Unfortunately, it just goes wide for Chelsea. But what a game this has been so far. Still Tottenham 2, Chelsea 0.
It could be anything, this game so far, as we come forward again. There's a bit of a collision between David Luiz and Dele Alli, both of them going for the ball. So David Luiz, who's ended up on the floor, at least for the moment. So both players fully committed to it. It gives us a breather, at least, in this game. It's giving both managers a chance to get one or two players across to that far side from the pictures we see, and just try and settle things down, reorganise, particularly from a Chelsea point of view. But I think as well from a Spurs point of view, there's still some work to be done here. David Luiz, it's around the knee which may be the problem. It's the right knee that they're trying to manipulate and move. He did take a whack from Dele Alli. I don't think the Spurs man was trying to get him at all. Both players committed to the ball and the challenge. And David Luiz looks like he will be okay, but he's clearly taken a bit of a whack on the knee, which is always a painful one.
Yeah, I mean, it's the old saying of 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline, because Chelsea get one back and suddenly they're back in it. Suddenly the team that are only one goal ahead just start to panic a little bit, but there's still a long way to go in this. I can't see Chelsea not scoring. I hope that's not a commentator's curse on them, but they look threatening. The second goal, we're just seeing replays of it now, was a very strange one. Incidentally, there is another game on the service as well. It kicked off at 5:30. You probably don't want to go and listen to that one though, because it's Brentford 0, Middlesbrough 0. Ours has been far more entertaining, and it's been the quickest 23.5 minutes of my life, because we're over the midway point of this game. Tottenham 2, Chelsea 0, and Steve will take you through the half time.
I hope that's a compliment on the game and not on me. The ball is forward here after play by Chelsea. Just seeing the replay again of that second goal. To some extent I can see what Onitha Balaga is doing. He's using Luiz to shadow his post and presuming that the shot can't get into there, and then Luiz turns away from the ball. So to some extent the goalkeeper's right. Yes, that part of the goal should be blocked off by his defender and deal with it. Some goalkeepers like to see defenders block, others prefer to see them get out of the way so that they can again deal with it. If Balaga, one of those, perhaps he uses his defenders to say, okay, you've got that corner, I'm going to try and cover the rest of the goal from here, but doesn't look good when it then flashes past you and you're still in the middle of the goal is the issue. So one to debate and cogitate amongst the goalkeeping coaches amongst us, but there we go. The Spurs go away down the left hand side again. Dele Alli with the fancy feet. Challenge comes in from Azpilicueta. Dele Alli is stunned to discover that the throw-in doesn't go his way. Having seen it again, a little bit of footwork from Dele Alli. It may have been a little earlier one, actually, we've just seen there. He's certainly been in the thick of things for this Spurs side, not only scored, but also fully involved in the game when Spurs are coming forward. Heung-min Son has been the main architect of things for Spurs over the first 10 minutes or so of the game. He's certainly having a big influence on it as well. Chelsea in possession, but inside their own half of the field. You see Sarri on the sideline patrolling the technical area. Pochettino has gone to sit back down again, more confident and comfortable with his side's performance, obviously after 25 minutes being 2-0 up. It's Spurs who now have a throw-in deep inside their own half of the field. Sergio Aurier will take it. It's a little ball forward, has to go back in the end to Foyth, who's under pressure straight away, and Spurs again giving the ball away. Here's Morata, long way from goal though, fortunately. Plays the ball across to Willian, but it's behind the Brazilian. Azpilicueta goes on the overlap. Willian will come inside instead, takes away from a couple of players, then threads the ball through, looking for Morata. He almost gets there. Kante tidies it back up again for Chelsea. Ball worked out wide, ball across, Morata inside the box. Good save by Lloris, he's straight at him, but he gets in a good position. The block with his chest as the shot came in, even though, as it were, the flag was up. The Spurs captain wasn't to know that. He made the save anyway.
Yeah, really good save, and I mean that's ball from Morata. He's gone way too early. I think he'd be disappointed he didn't score anyway. I mean, it wouldn't have counted, but it just doesn't, again, wrap his foot around. That's a couple of chances he had where, you know, the ball's coming into him, he's just nipping ahead of his defender and he hasn't got his right foot around it properly, but it was a good save nonetheless. But again, it just shows that there is still threat in this Chelsea side.
And we'll give an extra couple of bonus points to Hugo Lloris. Actually, I thought it hit him in the middle of the chest. It actually hit him on the arm as he spread himself well. The Spurs keeper, so a little extra credit to him at the moment, as Alonso has possession for Chelsea, but only on the halfway line, at least for the moment. Back to David Luiz, who looks to be moving okay after that knock to the knee that he took in the collision with Dele Alli. He's back on his feet and back into the central defence for Chelsea. Rudiger, his partner in crime, has it. Certainly he's a partner in crime so far, the way that Chelsea have defended in the first part of this game. Nice interplay though going forward from the Blues on this occasion. They win back possession again through Eden Hazard. He's looking for a ball over the top to Willian. He has to check back inside though as the defence clamps in around him. Here's Willian now, chips it over to the far post. He's looking for Kante. It comes off the feet of Dyer. Still in Chelsea's possession though at the moment, but they've been forced back towards the halfway line. As here comes a little ball from Kovacic, forward by Alonso towards Willian. Challenge comes in though on him from Sissoko, and it's out of play for a throw-in, just about level with the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Little discussion between Alonso and Willian as they take a throw-in short. Eventually it's worked across to Kante, a little chip into the box. Morata again finds a bit of space behind the defence. Again the flag goes up though. It was headed away from him anyway by Foyth on this occasion. But again Morata, I would say finding space because he's offside, but he's actually finding space in between defenders, and that one is quite tight.
Yeah, it's tight. It's like it's his arm offside, isn't it? So it's a little bit harsh, but I mean, Maurizio Sarri's doing his nutting on the sidelines at the moment in that technical area. He's just gesturing everywhere towards his players. I mean, he'll be shocked at what he's seen because it's not been the Chelsea that has been performing in this campaign so far. It reminds me a lot, I looked before though, the Chelsea-Arsenal game at the start of the season, which ended 3-2. A cracking game that was, but there was just chances either end.
Here comes Harry Kane with a shot that's charged down, and rather fortunately for him it spins away and goes behind for a corner down by the corner flag. But he apologises to those around him, because there were certainly players in better positions, he felt, there for Spurs, but Kane decided to have a go himself, perhaps seeing the earlier one go flashing past the Chelsea keeper, thought he might have another go. They've taken the corner short this time, Spurs direction in towards the near post. That's a great save from Balaga, and then Foyth on the rebound pushes it just wide, little flick with the back heel. Is it Alderweireld at the near post? I think it was, perhaps, who got across the front of the defence. It's Eriksson who chips it in. Yeah, Alderweireld with a lovely little flick of the near post, really good save as well. And then the rebound comes to Foyth. I think he flicks it, from the back of his heel, and it flashes right across the face of goal and behind for a goal kick. But again, we're inches away from 3-0.
Inches away. I mean, it's a great effort by Alderweireld, it really is, and an even better save from Kepa there. Has to react so quickly, gets two hands to it. I mean, if that had gone in from Juan Foyth, that would have been a superb finish. It would have been very lucky, because he's just flicked a right heel at it, but almost going in. I mean, every time Spurs are getting the ball into the box, it's just panic stations for Chelsea.
Yeah, it is. I've just seen Fulham defend this way as well for 90 minutes against Southampton and managed to get themselves a victory by 3-2. We're drifting the same way here with Chelsea, if they somehow manage to get themselves back into this game, because defensively they've been pretty shambolic so far. From an attacking point of view, though, they still are giving a threat to Spurs, and here they come again with Kante through the centre. Signed his new contract this week, of course, so it will be with Chelsea for a little while longer. A key component. That's a terrible ball away from Sissoko, straight to the feet of Hazard. He goes down into the box. Shot is charged down. Little flick by Kovacic for no apparent reason. He tries a rather fancy flick with a cross when he could have just hoofed it into the box, and Spurs clear it downfield. Lovely first touch by Son. Gets a bit of luck as it flicks off the back of Luiz's heels. Son again. No, he bends one just wide over the corner of the angle of crossbar and post. Good opportunity for Son. Created himself out of nothing and almost made it 3.
How easy is it when Heung-min Son picks up the ball, when to be fair, when even Ali and Kane pick it up and they're running at the Chelsea, the two centre-halves, so easy for them just to wrong foot them and you'll get that little half a yard. It was just far too comfortable for Son. First he sort of gets Luiz out of the game, then he gets Rudiger out of the game. It's a lovely effort. He's unlucky he just doesn't have that bend in the end to whip it back towards the top left corner, but I guess it's just chances at either end. This can't end, I'm saying it couldn't end 0-0, it can't end 2-0 either.
We don't know what it's going to end, this game. It's chaotic to say the least, shall we say, as the ball forward here by Spurs again. There's only Son to chase it. Luiz will get there first, and Chelsea should be able to tidy up, although they're making a bit of a meal of this at the moment. They're getting it out of play, but they still look at least comfortable and settled. Alonso picks it up on the left hand side and roll it into the feet of Kovacic. Kovacic to Jorginho. Time to be on the ball at all. Great turn by Hazard to Morata, would have been offside. He leaves it for Kovacic, though. Great challenge by Serge Aurier, goes flying in, leaves Kovacic in a crumpled heap on the floor. Beautifully timed challenge, though, to take the ball away from him, and it's out of play in the end for a throw in.
Yeah, it's Sissoko, isn't it? That's come across. He's absolutely whacked him out. To be fair, actually, I mean, it looked like a brilliant challenge, but he's gone a little bit high with his right leg. That's sort of coming across. It has gone over the ball slightly, so I think Kovacic did feel it, but I think the referee's given him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, again, it's Hazard that's starting every move off for Chelsea.
Yeah, Spurs will keep giving the ball away in poor positions as well at times. Sometimes the architect of their own downfall, but so far they've got away with it. Here's Hazard again on the right hand edge of the penalty area. Two Spurs players in front of him. He tries to thread it through to Willian, but it's cleared away, and in the end will it come off Kane last? The referee and assistant look at each other. Clearly neither of them actually knew who it had come off last, so they give the benefit of the doubt, I think, to Chelsea more than anything else, as they were kind of in possession. Ball is back with Hazard again. He gets a tap on the ankles though this time, and there will be a free kick to Chelsea midway inside the Spurs half, but really wide on that right hand side, so it will have to be the cross into the box if they're going to create something from here. Spurs keeping the field really narrow here by setting their defensive line on the edge of the penalty area, and if you look at the markings on the pitch, it's one couple of shades away from the edge of the box, as it were. Pushing and shoving around the edge of the penalty area. Referee has seen lots of it and eventually decides to penalise Kovacic for a push on Kane on this occasion.
Well, there continues to be a conveyor belt of chances at Wembley. Still Tottenham 2, Chelsea 0, but the last two opportunities have come for the home side. The first was for Alderweireld, a lovely ball whipped in from the right hand side, and again he just gets ahead of his marker at the near post. He has a lovely flicked effort with his right foot. It's a brilliant save by Kepa, gets down well with both hands, but the rebound pops, well, it doesn't pop straight to Foyth. He has a little back heel effort there, just flicks out his right heel, gets good contact on it, and it just goes past the left hand post there with a looping effort. And then Son driving forward there completely does Luiz and Rudiger, and from the edge of the box a left-footed curling effort goes just wide of the top left corner. It's Spurs 2, Chelsea 0.
Well, while James was just rounding that up, we saw a replay of that free kick and what was happening on the edge of the box. Basically Harry Kane, both hands, shoved Kovacic over, so David Luiz grabbed hold of his shirt, dragged him to the floor, ripped his shirt off him, Kane, and left him in a crumpled heap. So for me, first foul is the one by Kane, not the one by David Luiz, but classic bit of David Luiz reaction to something that went off on the edge of the box. But referee only saw the retaliation clearly, not to the first incident, as Kovacic was clearly pushed to the ground. So Harry Kane, it would have been outside the area. It wasn't a penalty, by the way, but it could have been a free kick right on the edge of the box to Chelsea. As it was a comfortable clearance. Therefore, as far as Spurs were concerned, we see some stats showing Harry Kane's now moved into the top two of Spurs scorers in the Premier League, above Jermaine Defoe but below Teddy Sheringham as it stands at the moment. So in the Premier League era, which as we know is when football started, as David Luiz has possession just inside his own half of the field. There's Kovacic coming deep this time, trying to get the ball rolling as far as Chelsea are concerned. 10 minutes to go to half-time. You kind of think they really need a little bit of something here, Chelsea, just before half-time. They've certainly shown enough to suggest they can get it, but Hugo Lloris really only one save to make so far, and that was from an offside position as far as Morata was concerned. A little flick at the near post that Lloris blocked well. Here come Chelsea again though with Alonso. Straight away he's got Aurier right in his face. He manages to get the ball though to Kante. Walked in towards Hazard, midway inside the Spurs half, two Spurs players around him, so just dribbling with the ball for a moment while he tries to find some space around him. So a little bit tip-tappy from Chelsea at the moment, but they're keeping possession as Kovacic heads off across field. He has got Willian, but that's a poor ball downfield, really easily headed away by Ben Davies. Davies will get it back here from Young and Son inside his own half. He almost